Good afternoon, guys. Happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I got a ton of stuff done for today, which was awesome. The only thing was it wasn't even in my room. It wasn't even in like any of the other common spaces in the house. It was actually Matthew and Jack's bedroom. I did actually get some stuff done in my room, guys. I showed you guys in yesterday's vlog. I was like, look at my chair's all full of clothes. Look at all the clothes are gone and put away. And my floor is all swept and cleaned up. That actually I think needs to go out in the garage. That's a Dremel tool that I'm going to use when I start my glass etching. The only problem is that I don't want to do it in the house. So I asked my dad, I was like, can you show me like how to use it? And he brought it inside. Like, I'm going to do it at the kitchen table or something. Like, I wanted to do it outside where like I don't have to worry about, you know, it getting all over the place or anything like that. And like, you know, even though like the glass isn't going to be a huge big deal, but like I wanted to do it somewhere where it's not like just like in my room or like on the kitchen table or something like that, like more of a workspace, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go bring that back outside. Other than that, guys, you can see my floor is all cleaned up. Everything is all picked up. There's a dog bed on the floor, but everything in my room, I told you guys yesterday, even my laundry's out of the basket and put my dirty laundry. But yeah, so my chair is all cleared off. I also cleared off a little bit of my table next to my bed. I told you guys too how I cleaned off some of my desk yesterday. So I actually did wind up getting like some stuff actually taken care of and like cleaned up and everything like that in my room. I also did laundry, and I didn't really get to dishes, but I probably have enough to run about a load of laundry or a load of dishes. I was going to make dinner for tonight because Matthew came home today and my dad went to go pick him up when he got home from work at like 3 o'clock. And then Matthew ended up coming home though, I think like sometime around like 6 o'clock maybe or something like that. And got all of his stuff out, and like he's done like checked out of his dorm and everything like that. And officially moved back into the house. So yeah, he like I said, got all of that stuff, you know, like taken care of, and they moved all of his furniture and everything like that. They didn't have to take 2 trips. They just took 1 trip for everything. So yeah, he's back now, and my dad went to go do that today. And Jack actually ended up cleaning up his room today, which ended up starting from, like, I told him yesterday that he needed to take care of all of his clothes. That they needed to be cleaned up and like put away and everything like that. And I told you guys, I think I vlogged about this like last fall or something like that. Me and him organized his closet, his, you know, his dresser and everything like that, and got his closet like cleaned and like organized and all kinds of stuff. And we spent a very long time doing that. Like, it was like a 3-day project. I mean, we didn't work like, you know, it was maybe a few hours each day, but we worked like for a good amount of time and stuff like that on all of this, and like going through all of his old clothes if they didn't fit him, put, you know, anything that was like you know, rearranged everything, got everything to like fit and stuff like that in his room and in his closet, and like I said, in his dresser, so things were more functional. So we did that. It was a pretty long process. So I go upstairs, and I told him this yesterday, like to take care of all of his clothes and put it away and everything like that. And he is like, okay, I'll do it. Like, and I was like, you need to do it before Matthew gets home, because when he gets home, he's gonna have all of his stuff that he's going to need to put away, like from school and stuff like that. And I'm sure he's gonna have boxes of things that he has to go through and he has to put away, in his own clothes, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I was like, and instead of getting your stuff mixed in with his stuff and not knowing, you know, like just a mess. So I was trying to convince him like to do it, and he was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, you know, tonight and everything like that. Or he said he would do it today. That was last night. So I went upstairs today, and I was like, you know, like maybe an hour after he got home from school, like about 4 o'clock. And I think Matthew got home at 6 o'clock. So I told him, I was like, you know, Dad already left to go get Matthew. You need to make sure that you get all your stuff cleaned up. And he was upstairs playing video games. And I'm like, you know, you need to get all this taken care of. And so he's like, okay, like I'll do that and everything. And as I was up there, I was like, you know what? You know, and he was up there moving around furniture. Like, his clothes were the only thing that needed to be put away. And there was like boxes of things and stuff like that that were up there that were supposed to be in the attic or weren't supposed to be in the room, but were in their room for some reason. Because it's kind of like a dumping ground, I feel like, upstairs for things that need to go into the attic, or that, you know, that aren't getting into the attic, or it's for stuff that, you know, just like people don't know what to do or think that it needs to go in the attic when it's not supposed to go in the attic, or like whatever. So I think I told you guys maybe over this weekend there was a box of like holiday stuff, and there was stuff on the stairs too. That needed to go upstairs that was just like random, either holiday stuff that we'd like found, like a Christmas decoration. We were like, oh shoot, we were supposed to, you know, put that away with the Christmas stuff, you know. Like I think there was like a stocking that got like, you know, maybe in the laundry or mixed, you know, hidden behind furniture or something like that, that fell, or we didn't see it, or, you know, didn't know. When we cleaned up the living room, we realized that there was actually a Christmas tablecloth on one of the couch, or one of the tables in the living room. That nobody realized was a Christmas, you know, tablecloth that was in there. So we ended up, like I said, going through all of that stuff and like cleaned everything up. And had put all that stuff that was stuff that needed to go in the attic, that needed to go in the correct box, because there was stuff from Christmas, there was also stuff from like St. Patrick's Day, there was something we forgot in the window. The whole box of Valentine's Day stuff never made it into the attic, it was just sitting in the room. There was like, you know, different little things from like Thanksgiving maybe, that like a tablecloth, or, you know, like a table placemat or something like that, that like I said got mixed in with something else and it needed to go up there. So long story short, I ended up taking all that stuff up over the weekend, and again, there was other boxes of things like that, like there was bedding and, you know, that kind of stuff, which normally we wind up like putting in the attic, and like totes and stuff like that. So anyways guys, this whole thing ends up happening, and I go up there, Jack's, like I said, moving around furniture, and I was just going to take care of the few boxes, and so I was like, well, let me help you reorganize your whole room, because the way the couch was upstairs wasn't really fitting and working well, because it was like butted right up against a like toy chest thingy that's up there that they were using as like a table. And like I said, a whole bunch of other stuff that was just like randomly oddly placed. So I think that their setup upstairs is hopefully going to work a little bit better right now. But again, like I said, I went up there, just wasn't planning on it, but ended up rearranging Jack's entire room and moved all of his furniture. I think his and Matthew's bed stayed the same, but like the couch and the dressers and the desks and everything like that that are upstairs, because the upstairs is really more of like, it's not completely like a bedroom, it's more of like a bonus room, and so, but it's their room too, so it's like kind of like family room and their bedroom, so they have like their desks and everything like that, and there's two of them obviously up there, you know, so the space fits well for them, along with again having the couch and having the TV up there, and they have their Xboxes and all that kind of stuff, and then their computer, and you know, everything is kind of upstairs. So, like I said, we rearranged pretty much all that stuff today. But then, here comes into play his clothing thing. So after that, I was, you know, done, and we had rearranged everything. Matthew got home, and then Matthew was upstairs cleaning up and putting all his stuff away, and Jack was told all he has to do is put away his clothing. That was just the basket. I gave him one basket of clothes, and half of it was his and half of it was Matthew's. I think actually more of it was Matthew's even than his. And so I gave him one basket of clothes on like Wednesday or maybe Tuesday or something like that, full of his clean laundry he needed to put away, and I told him that yesterday they needed to put it away. Well, he was complaining and arguing and fighting with Matthew, and I don't even know what was going on, and Matthew was like, okay. So they ended up working everything out. Matthew was like, the only thing Jack needs to do is put away his clothes so that he can sleep on his bed tonight, because there's other stuff on the couch, so Jack couldn't like move his clothes to the couch or anything like that, or, you know, onto a chair or anything. They were all on his bed, and he had nowhere to put them. He wasn't going to put them on the floor, because not about that, putting clean clothes on the floor. So like Matthew was like, okay, the only thing he needs to do is just put his clothes away. So Jack's throwing a temper tantrum, and he's like, it's too hard, I don't want to go in the attic, I don't want to put my stuff away in the attic, you know, and like, why don't I just put everything in my dresser? I was like, the whole reason we ended up cleaning up the upstairs was so that you would have room for your stuff in your dresser that goes in there, which is just like, you know, his undergarments and socks and his, you know, pajamas, and then he has a drawer, so I think it's a 4-drawer, like dresser maybe, or 5-drawer. Then he has one for pants and shorts, or shorts and pants, like one of the 2 or 3 that he has left are like for his like legging stuff. Anything that goes on his legs go in the last, I think it's 2 drawers, maybe 2 or 3, like I said. So he's like, well, why don't I just put everything all in, you know, and like his dresser, it doesn't have that much space, so that's why we again, all of his shirts and sweatshirts and everything like that go in the attic. And so he's like, well, why don't I just take all my pants out of my dresser and I'll put them in the attic, and I'll just keep my t-shirts in here. And I was like, the reason we did this was because you didn't have enough room. Let's just keep it how it is. Which it's not even an attic. They have a little cubby door, and there's shelves, you know, right in there that they hang all their stuff on, or like a rod. For like their clothes. And so he again was like freaking out, like, no, I don't want to put the stuff in the attic, and I don't like going in the attic to go and get my stuff out. And I was like, why? Like, we cleaned this whole thing up just a few months ago. I went in the attic and found out that he had shoved weeks and months worth of clothing into the attic and just shoved it all in there. That was all clean stuff, and decided he wasn't going to put it away. And this wasn't the stuff that like had just come out of the laundry from this week. This was the stuff that like was like weeks and weeks and weeks old. And all of his clothes were all he's been wearing, which I kind of realize now, has been just a handful of outfits that he keeps re-wearing every single time I wash them, because all he's been doing is throwing all his clothes on the floor of the attic, like in their cubby in the closet, and hasn't hung anything up, hasn't put anything away where it belongs, hasn't put anything in his dresser. He'll just leave it on the chair or on his bed and just keeps recycling the same outfits over and over. I was so upset, guys. I was like, this is ridiculous. No, you are gonna stay up with me. We're gonna finish this, which we didn't stay up late or anything like that. He was still in bed by like, I think we finished honestly before 9 o'clock. But it was like, you are gonna, yeah, maybe it was even 8 o'clock. I think it only took us an hour, but the whole time he is like, I did most of the work, guys. And he is like, I don't want to do this, and I'm exhausted, and we moved all the furniture around. And I was like, okay, but my point, guys, here's the whole point for the whole thing, is that if you would have just been responsible, I think I said this like a million times, you're just responsible for you, and you just put away the things that you were supposed to do when you're supposed to do them. One little load of laundry every single time, which I was bad. I left my stuff on my chair, you know. And so it's a big process now. Instead of just, you know, maybe a few things every load or whatever, or, you know, one basket of laundry that I have to put away, I wait and wait and wait weeks and weeks and weeks, you know, because it was a few weeks worth of laundry, clean laundry. And, you know, you can't find anything when it's sitting there either. But, you know, I'm just as bad that, you know, I'll leave my stuff sitting there. And so today when I put my laundry away, it took me like maybe about 20, 30, 40 minutes to put all of my stuff away. And you know, but if I had just done it when I, you know, do the laundry or whatever, and I put it away, it takes me about 2 minutes, you know, instead of waiting and now having to do this huge big lump of laundry and putting it away. And so like, that's what I was trying to tell him. This wouldn't have taken us an hour, 2 hours to put all of your clothes away if you had just been responsible enough to put them away every single time. So I was trying to kind of make a point there, that again, he needs to be responsible and take care of his stuff. And I was also really upset though, because I wasted all of my time cleaning out and again organizing his space, his cubby, you know, space in there, and his dresser and everything like that. For him to like do that was kind of like a kick in the teeth to me. Like, I worked on this as much as you did, and you didn't care enough, you know, for my time. I was like, so I'm gonna waste your time today. So he, like, I don't think played almost any video games at all today, which he was not happy about. But my dad said it too, that he had to get all of his laundry put away. Once I found all the stuff that he had been throwing in the attic that I think he didn't want anybody to know about, which is why he was throwing such a fit about putting it away, which is why I freaked out and was like, okay, that's it, we're doing it and taking care of all of it. So that was my fun, joyous day, that I got to put away somebody else's laundry and my own today. So we ended up, like I said, pretty much reorganizing the rest of his closet a second time. And like I said, it would still be organized right now if he was just responsible and put his stuff away, and we wouldn't have to deal with this huge big issue. So hopefully he realizes that and continues it. And I'm now gonna have to be the nanny though, and every few weeks check to make sure he's not just throwing this stuff in the attic. Cause like, seriously guys, I feel like he gets babied too much because he's like the youngest, and like everybody else is just like, oh yeah, like he can do it, you know, and like doesn't like check to make sure he's actually doing it. Like, I think my parents think that he is as responsible as me and Matthew, and he's not. He's acting, you know, he still acts like he's like a little kid, and you know, will hide his clothes away in his closet so he doesn't actually have to put them away or whatever. Whereas like me and Matthew, don't really do that. You know, I think we're more responsible, and I think my parents just think he is, and now that he's not, like, somebody has to babysit him and make sure he's actually doing it. And since I'm kind of in charge of, and I helped him do his closet and everything like that, but since I do all of the laundry and everything like that, I'm going to check to make sure that every single time I give him his basket full of clothes, he needs to make sure that he's putting away, like, on the spot or, like, within that day or whatever. So anyways though, I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe.